Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So today's video is going to be an Amazon's favourite, talking about my favourite products from Amazon. And let me tell you, especially how 2020 has been, I feel like I've used Amazon more this year than ever before. So I'm really excited to share with you my favourite products, ranging from tech, hair care, beauty, and a few other things thrown in too. So if you enjoy Amazon favourite videos, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me decide what kind of videos to film in the future. And without further ado, let's get straight into the video. As always, all products that I talk about in these videos are going to be linked down below so that you can check them out yourself. If you want to buy, then you can, but ultimately you can find out more information by checking out those listings. So the first kind of category I'm going to talk about is hair care. As you guys know, I really love hair care, and my channel really is centering on hair care videos and reviews, which I'm really enjoying. So that said, I have 3 products to quickly talk about here. The first one is the VO5 Heat Protect Spray. This is for ultra glossy finish, and it protects up to 230 degrees Celsius, which is really good. You definitely want something that protects to a really high heat, and this is something that I use out of habit every single time I do my hair. So whether I straighten it, curl it, I'll always apply this, let it set, and then style my hair as usual. Heat protection is so important for the health of your hair, and this is just a product that I have gone to time and time again. I don't really know why I didn't try something new, but because I use this and I really enjoyed it and it's so affordable, I've just kept to this. I definitely recommend this to anyone that's looking for a good heat protection spray that's also really affordable. And so yeah, I thought that I would just start off with this one because I absolutely love it. And if you watch my hair care videos, you'll be familiar with this bad boy. This is my wet brush. This is actually in a rose gold finish, and I got this, I think it was like to do with like a Christmas range or something a couple of years ago. But ever since I've had this in my collection, I am obsessed with like using this when my hair's wet. I never realized how much my old hairbrushes like tugged and pulled on my hair. The technology in this means it's so much more gentle on your hair when it's wet, which is when it's in its most fragile state and most likely to break off. And I would never be without one of these in my hair care routine again. I literally talk about this every single hair mask video I do. I'm always using my wet brush, and yeah, it's just one of those products that I absolutely love. Again, they're relatively affordable considering how long they last, and you can get them in so many different colors. I got the like rose gold one. I do quite like the black one, and I might get that one next. But I absolutely love this, and it's something that I recommend to literally every single person I know. And yeah, generally the wet brushes are so fantastic, and if you don't have one, then definitely get one because they are just so good. And the last hair care product that I wanted to talk about specifically from Amazon is the Garnier Ultra Blends Nourishing Hair Food in Banana and Shea. I've done a whole review video on this, so I'm not going to talk too much about it from a technical point of view, but this smells so good. I just believe that if you're looking to incorporate a hair mask, this can actually be used as a hair mask and a leave-in conditioner and as just a normal conditioner. So it's a really good multi-purpose product. It's really affordable, and generally I just say that something like this, if you're a newbie to hair masks or just looking to improve your hair's health but you don't really want to invest too much money going into it, something like this I think is such a good place to start. And because it smells so good, it's a vegan formula product, it's cruelty free, I love it. And so I just wanted to give this a bit of a shout out because it's one of those unsung heroes, I think. And yeah, definitely recommend it. And obviously with Amazon, it can come the next day if you have Amazon Prime, which makes things so much better. So next up, I wanted to talk about 2 different products that I use to take off my makeup at the end of the day, and both of which are from Amazon. So the first things I wanted to talk about are these, and these are basically like microfiber rounds, like cotton round things, but like obviously quite large. These are basically a dupe for the face halos, but I got I think a 6-pack of these. There's also a white one, but I don't have any that aren't wet anymore because they're all about to go into the wash. You can machine wash them, they're reusable, so there's less cotton pads going into the rubbish because you can just like wash these, and they're just so good. I find them so easy, they're super affordable as well, so I'll leave these linked down below. And yeah, I feel like these are just as good as the face halos. I really like microfiber technology when you take off your makeup, because you can just use water if you want to, but you can also use this with your cleanser, and I just find that it takes off makeup so well, and they're so soft as well, which I absolutely love. So I just want to give these a quick shout out. And then along the same kind of line, this is my bag of reusable cotton rounds, and so these are more like the traditional cotton pads that you would get in shops, and these are just freshly washed actually. So I took them out of the tumble dry. You can machine wash these, you can tumble dry them, you can use like normal detergent. Typically we use non-bio because we have a child and we find that she's got really sensitive skin, and I haven't found that these have reacted to my skin any differently by being washed in that. And so yeah, these I think was a 20 pack, and they just come like this, and they're again super soft. I find that these are such a good product again to take off makeup, and I use these so often. I've had these ones for months, and I have replaced them once before because I bought my first pack like early last year, and I just find that this prevents so much like cotton wool basically going into rubbish, and it just makes me more conscious as well of trying to make more sustainable decisions. So yeah, again, these can vary in price, but I got these and these were I think like £12 there or thereabouts, and I just find that they're so good. They come in the laundry bag as well, so you literally just put that in the washing machine once you finish using them. And yeah, I've absolutely loved these, so I just wanted to talk about them because if you are looking to make a more sustainable choice as part of your routine. So next up are a couple of beauty items that I typically buy on Amazon, but again you could probably get these anywhere. The first one is the Garnier Summer Body Gradual Tan. I love this tan. I feel like this is a love or hate relationship. I've said this before, but I absolutely love it because it's so carefree. You can just put it on like moisturizer and then it builds up a really lovely like natural tan. I find that because I have a child, and like leaving a tan on to develop and then washing it off can just be an unnecessary faff, but just using a gradual tan like this is just so easy. And if you do tan in the more traditional way, then you can top up your tan using something like this, and this is always again so affordable. This is just a product that I used probably when I was 13 and have kept using because I really like the way it looks. Next up is a pure clay mask from L'Oreal. This is actually the like blue mask. It's like the blue clay mask, and this one is actually almost up. You can probably see there that I've got like probably one, maybe stretching 2 uses left in this, and I love using this. I find that this is a really good clay mask to really get impurities out. I don't traditionally love clay masks, but this range I've used the like blue one, the traditional black charcoal one, and also the like red clay one, and I find that they all three of them work so well for my skin. I have quite sensitive skin, so I have to be quite careful with more abrasive face masks, whereas this I find is gentle enough but also works well enough to actually like get the gunk out. And so this is just a range that I really do recommend, and it's just something that I have repurchased again since they probably launched. I'm sure that Rich bought me my first ever one and I've been hooked ever since, and so I wanted to give this a little bit of a shout out because it's just fab and again so affordable. And so yeah, I absolutely love this. Next up on the beauty spectrum, and again I feel like this is probably like a little bit controversial, but for me it works really well, and that is a Derma Roller, and I think this is a 1mm like needle. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a close-up there so you could actually see the needles on there, but there's basically lots of little tiny needles surrounding the circular thing, and then this twists as you use it. So you can get these in all different sizes, but the reason why I specifically use a Derma Roller is because when I had Heidi, who's my child, I got loads of stretch marks on my stomach. So I use this in combination of using a vitamin C oil or lotion, and I'll basically do this over my stretch marks and then I'll put the vitamin C lotion on there, and I find that so far I feel like it's genuinely making a bit of a difference. I personally wouldn't use these on my face, but I know some people do, and that's personal preference. I think if you're educated enough on how to do it, then fine, but for me I'm just a little bit worried about using like needles on my face. But I feel like on my stomach, where I've had a lot of stretch marks, it's really like starting to shrink it in a little bit, if that makes sense. And so like where I had a C-section and I have a load of stretch marks from pregnancy, it just helps to like basically tighten the skin a little bit. Because you lose a bit of elasticity in that process, then I find that this has worked really well for me in trying to like add a little bit back in. I don't feel like this is a miracle product. This isn't going to help me like snap back to my like pre-pregnancy body. I'm not too fussed if I do or not, you know, like that's the way of life. I find using this a couple of times a week on where I like am particularly self-conscious on my body has just made a bit of a difference. And again, this was super affordable too. Like I said, please do use it at your own risk, because I'm not a professional, and so I definitely don't want to recommend you use it and use it in the wrong way. So educate yourself on the benefits of derma rolling, but I just think that using this on my stomach has worked for me, and so I did want to talk about it. So the next category of products I wanted to talk about was fragrance oil, and I use these in those like humidifier style diffusers where you add water and a fragrance oil into them, and they basically create like almost like a steam and really fill the room of amazing fragrance. So these are just two examples of ones that I've picked up from Amazon. This one is a waxed lyrical one, and this is in the scent Fresh Linen, which I love because it just smells so clean. I've used about a third of that one, and these last so long too. I had an orange one before that, and that was definitely my favorite, but this one is also really nice. I think this one was about £10-ish, maybe £13 to get, but again, this lasts so long. I also use it if I make my own wax melts, and so I just find a little bit goes such a long way. You can use these to refill like reed diffusers, so really versatile. And this one, it doesn't actually have like a brand name, but I love lemon scents, and so this one is lemongrass and lime, and this almost has like a herby smell to it too. But I love this so much. This one is almost out, and I have been using this so much in the summer, and I just find that it adds such a genuine fragrance to your house. This is something that works so much better than a candle in my opinion, and so I find that buying these and using those diffusers just work so well for me and our house, and it just means that my house can always smell really nice. And all it costs is basically buying a fragrance oil. You can get like smaller fragrance oils if you want to start off and try them out, but I find that you get much more value in when you buy like the bigger bottles. And so yeah, that's definitely my next recommendation from Amazon. And so my next kind of shout outs go to a few more tech items, some of which I can't show you, but the first one I wanted to talk about was this adapter. So I have a MacBook Pro, and it came out last year, and so as part of the MacBook Pro, it has one port on one side for the charger, and then the other side it has a headphone jack. I just had to check because it's on the floor, but that's it. So there was no SD card slot, which really bugged me, and there was just nowhere where you could also put like a hard drive and stuff like that, and like MacBooks typically don't have the best storage. And so Rich actually found this like device on Amazon, and it plugs into the two ports that you have on the side, and then you get those two ports again. You also get a micro SD reader and a normal SD reader, so when I edit videos I can just put my SD card in here. And then you also have two USB slots, so you can plug in a hard drive and a memory stick or anything else that you use that needs a USB, like a mouse or anything like that. And this just makes it so much easier to use from my laptop. Because of the way that this is actually built, it sits flush to my laptop, so it works like a little extension instead of having something like flimsy plugged in and then having like my SD card in a reader that's like just a wire. This is just so much sturdier, and it just means that things don't get ejected without realizing, and so I really love this. I can't remember how much this was exactly, but I know it wasn't expensive, and this is just something that I've used every single day since I've had my MacBook Pro, because it just makes it so much easier in terms of workflow. And yeah, I really like it. I think it's such a good, like, well-made product. And yeah, I definitely think if you have a MacBook Pro, specifically one that's a bit newer and so more streamlined, whereby they just kick out all the different ports, then something like this is so worth having. So I also have my ring light. So my camera's actually sat within my ring light, and that again was from Amazon, and it was really affordable too. This one doesn't dim, you just have on or off, but I don't feel like I need a dimmable option. I find that this worked really well, and it meant that I could save money on like my YouTube setup. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, kind of right here you might see, is I have like softbox lights, and so this just helps the room that I'm filming at the moment have more of a like natural daylight type of light, as opposed to warm lighting that is in here by default. and this just makes it look like I'm filming when the sun's out, and it looks a little bit more natural, which I really like. Again, the soft boxes weren't too dear either, and I feel like for quite a basic YouTube setup, I think that things have kind of like improved whilst I've been filming on my channel. And for me, it's down to these 3 elements. So having the camera, having the ring light, and having the softbox, those all together, well, the camera is obviously a little bit more pricey, but the ring light and the softboxes really weren't that expensive. And so if you're quite serious about getting into YouTube, or you want to invest in your setup a little bit more, then those are 2 things I definitely would recommend having a look at. I find that the softbox just helps to add that extra flow of light, whereas the ring light is quite direct, and so it just helps to balance it a little bit more. So yeah, those are definitely things that I would recommend getting if you are kind of like filming videos, and I'll leave those linked down below so you can kind of check them out in a little bit more detail. But yeah, those are basically all of my Amazon favorites. I know there's like not like loads and loads, but I kind of just wanted to share my top products because I'm so obsessed with Amazon, and so I know so many people are too. So I hope that this has been helpful. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know down below what your favorite product from Amazon is too. I love hearing your recommendations, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.